We begin this video with a heavy heart. What happened in Boulder, Colorado earlier today was not just tragic, it was horrifying. A peaceful vigil, a moment of solidarity, and then violence. At the Run for Their Lives event, a weekly demonstration held in support of Israeli hostage abducted by Hamas on October 7th, a man set multiple people on fire. Yes, he lit human beings on fire in broad daylight in the middle of a public pedestrian mall. This was not random violence. This was a targeted act of terror, and we need to treat it that way. According to the FBI, at least some victims sustained life-threatening burns. Witnesses described flames leaping from bodies. Law enforcement quickly responded, including FBI counterterrorism units. And part of the mall was evacuated. The scene was chaotic, graphic, and traumatizing.
We have some breaking news this afternoon. We have learned today that multiple people were injured, apparently burned, in an attack that happened on Pearl Street in Boulder this afternoon.
An organizer with the group Run for Their Lives says it happened during a weekly march for hostages. Now, Boulder police is about to have a news conference here in the next couple of minutes, and we'll take you there in just a second. But first, we want to share a little bit of what we know right now through what our reporting has told us. Today, there's a group called Run for Their Lives that every week holds marches in Denver and Boulder to raise awareness for Israeli hostages in Gaza. We're told today there were about 30 to 40 people marching through Boulder. When they made it to the end of their route, which was near the courthouse and town hall there in Boulder, an organizer for that group says that there was a man who was waiting there with what appeared to be Molotov cocktails or some sort of explosive and threw one of those objects towards the crowd that was marching with Israeli flags, as well as American flags and pictures of Israeli hostages. We're told that there was a fire that was started. At least 5 people were burned, and at least 1 person was taken to the hospital at UC Health. Right now, the FBI is investigating this as an act of terror and targeted violence.
We are not aware of the extent of injuries at this point, but we know that University of Colorado Hospital, which we know is based in Aurora, has confirmed that they've received at least 2 patients from this attack so far. Also, the area in and around Pearl Street is on an evacuation order right now. Several blocks to the north, south, west, east of that area is completely blocked off. Nobody's allowed in that area.
But here's the part we have to pay attention to. The attack happened at a pro-Israel vigil. Let that sink in. This was not just an act of random violence. I think it was meant to terrorize, to silence, and to send a message. FBI Director Kash Patel called this what it is, a targeted terror attack. He said, quote, "We are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will share updates as more information becomes available." Like, this is just evil. Wicked.
Boulder dispatch received several calls to the county courthouse located at 1325 Pearl Street here in Boulder. The initial callers indicated that there was a man with a weapon and that people were being set on fire. The initial response by our officers, we were on scene very quickly. When we arrived, we encountered multiple victims that were injured with injuries consistent with burns and other injuries. While our officers and paramedics and fire department personnel got those victims quickly to the hospital, our officers were pointed out, a suspect was pointed out to our officers on the scene. Our officers immediately encountered that suspect who was taken into custody without incident. That suspect, who I'm not able to ID at this time, was taken to the hospital with some minor injuries as well. And there's a lot more we're investigating right now before I'm able to release information on that person. The scene itself is contained, but we have a large area here in downtown Boulder closed off right now. Businesses have been closed, and we have asked people to avoid the area. This area is not safe yet. We're dealing with a vehicle of interest. We're dealing with a large area that we are making sure it's safe before we allow people to come back into the scene. If your vehicle is here in the several block perimeter that we have, please follow our social media. We will announce when the roads are open and people can retrieve their vehicle as well. I appreciate everyone's patience as we work through this complex scene.
Before we continue, I want to pause and say this. To the victims and their families, our hearts are with you. We're praying for your healing, your strength, and your peace. Your courage, your voice, and your stand for the innocent in the face of such cruelty deserves our deepest respect. We're living in a time where supporting Israel is no longer just a foreign policy opinion. It's become a safety risk, a free speech risk, a moral line in the sand. What happened today is radicalism under the disguise of free expression. But let me be clear, you are not oppressed because someone supports Israel. You are not justified in violence because of your so-called political grievances. And you sure as hell don't have a right to burn people alive in the name of your ideology. Like, this is not activism. That's terrorism. This was a hate crime. This was an act of terror, and it should be prosecuted as such. And as I've stated before on this channel, I do not support war. I do not support the killing of innocent people on either side. What happened in Boulder is heartbreaking, and my deepest hope is for an end to the violence, the hatred, and the suffering. We need peace, we need compassion, and we need to find a way to move forward where innocent lives are no longer caught in the crossfire of politics, extremism, and fear. Again, may healing come quickly for everyone impacted. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if honest commentary brings you value, please like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and may God bring healing to every life touched by this awful act of violence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.